So welcome everybody to Medica Nova Wellness Studio. I'm so happy to be here today, and I have a great treat for you, all the viewers. And today we have an inspirational and educational conversation with my colleague, Dr. Ladislau Rosenberg, about the apitherapy, the benefits of apitherapy, and also the magic of the honeybees. This is a wonderful, truly traditional medicine, but now is coming more to the forefront. And we want to also explain to our viewers that it can be applied within modern medicine in the highest form. But before we start, I would like to introduce Dr. Ladislau Rosenberg to you. And is a long bio, is a wonderful, really experienced consultant, an educator, a researcher, writer in natural therapies. He has a LinkedIn account, and boy, it's like every day you have the most amazing articles that you can enjoy. Founder of Dr. Natura, it's a holistic health consulting part here. And really, Dr. Ladislau Rosenberg has been involved in research and education and practice in various fields of integrated medicine for over 45 years. And that's why I really appreciate his skills, his expertise, which is truly unfounded here. And he's recognized as a specialist in apitherapy, aromatherapy, phytotherapy, as well as in homeopathy. He was an associate professor at two major universities in Romania, the University of Medicine and Pharmacy in Târgu Mureș, and it's the Faculty of Pharmacy and the University called Lucian Blaga of CBU, the Faculty of Medicine. And of course, he is the author, what can I say, of 11 books, including 4 dedicated of promoting the values of natural therapies and numerous scientific papers. And we talk about 82 here, published in Romania and abroad. So over time, Dr. Ladislau Rosenberg collaborated on various international projects in research, education, and culture, also under the auspices of the UNESCO, the World Bank, the European Union, and the Organization of the World Heritage Cities. So he's an expert in the history of pharmacy, an honorary member of the Romanian Society for the History of Pharmacy, and also permanent lecturer and honorary member of the Romanian Society for Apitherapy, Phytotherapy, and Aromatherapy, and a coordinator of health educational projects that promote various natural therapies and their role in preventing and treating disease. So you can see you are here for a treat, a serious treat here with somebody who has a wonderful a plethora in the world of knowledge, especially in the field of apitherapy. So welcome, 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 Dr. Ladislau Rosenberg. I appreciate you being here with our, I call it the Compassion Project, sending lots of love and lots of wisdom out into the world. And I give you the floor, and let's explore what is apitherapy.
Yes, thank you very much for this nice introduction about my professional activity, dear Dr. Angelica Mariaco. Thank you very much for your collaboration. In our webinar in October 18, we had a very nice webinar about the possibility to integrate natural therapies into modern medicine, and you was our keynote speaker. Thank you very much for your participation and for your collaboration. About your question, what is epitherapy? Epitherapy is a natural therapy, is a science about how to utilize different bee products in prevention and treatment of disease. Very important prevention. In general, for all natural therapies, all which are part of integrative medicine or complementary and alternative medicine, there are different use names for, but I think integrative medicine is very good, or natural medicine is very good. For all these integrative fields of domains of integrative medicine, important is prevention. How to prevent different disease, especially the chronic disease. About epitherapy, I must to mention, this is an old traditional therapy utilized from millennia, mentioned by in Egyptian medicine by papyrus, Eber's papyrus, and mentioned also by Hippocrates, the Greek doctor medicine, the father of medicine. Hippocrates mentioned the utilization of honey, for example, for the treatment of wounds. Also, the Romans the ancient Romans utilized bee products for the treatment of different health problems. And near all the big, ancient medicines of the world, like Ayurveda or Chinese medicine utilize bee products, especially honey and propolis for the treatment of different disease. In our time, epitherapy is utilized in a lot of countries in the world, and I want to mention that in our region, in Central and Eastern Europe, in this region exist rich traditions about the utilization of bee products in prevention and treatment of different health problems. And we want to preserve this tradition, and for our times and for the future. And here an important role have our society, the Romanian Society for Apitherapy, Phytotherapy, and aromatherapy. It's a good combination, it's a good collaboration between the specialists, between the experts in these three important domains, in these three important fields of natural therapies.
I think it's wonderful. And, you know, coming back to earth, coming back to nature, I think is the future medicine again, right? We have forgotten almost sometimes our too industrialized medicine also world to come back to, you know, how nature really works. And nature works in its totality. So we have the whole plant. We not just take one particular chemical substitute from a plant and synthesize it into a sort of drug. In this case, for example, the aspirin was taken from the willow, right? And
yes, salix alba.
salicylic acid, exactly. And with aromatherapy as well as with phytotherapy, and here apitherapy, we really want to look at the core essence of the medicinal substance here. And api is actually a Latin word. It means the bee, the honeybee. And, you know, the viewers out there, you maybe have heard about the amazing benefits of Manuka honey, which is now all over the world used in its pure form, externally as well as internally. We have the bee venom, we have the propolis, we have the royal jelly, you know, or the beeswax. Even just beeswax candles in itself, you know, give us this beautiful aromatic frequency of just soothing and healing energy. Also, the larval bees, you know, are here used. In the US where I live, often apitherapy is used and often associated with the bee venom therapy, and which involves the use of direct bee stings, the venom sac, we call it, or injected apitoxin. And we have a whole science here, particularly in New Mexico, where I live. People are very, very interested in, they all have their beehives, but how to make bee products and how to help and use apitherapy as an acknowledged medicinal methodology. So I very much support that. And of course, in Korea, apitherapy is known for the use of royal jelly, for example, or but overall, as you said, the emphasis is very much also about prevention. What can we do in not just when the symptomatology hits us and we say, oh my God, now I need a remedy, but what can we do before we actually get sick, before the body breaks down? And here apitherapy has a big part to play in terms of boosting the immune system, right?
Yes.
Stabilizing, restoring the body's homeostasis, which is the equilibrium. This feeling of being aligned, where the cells know what to do and how to function best, especially when environmental challenges come to us. The body knows what to do. When you're hungry, your stomach growls, and you know you have to eat. So it's just more than just an acute remedy. It's an overall holistic therapy, which not just only deals with the acute situation, of course, all chronic decisions as well, but also as a preventative measure. And that is very, very important in today's challenging world.
Absolutely.
What can you say more about apitherapy and maybe the benefits also? I mean, there are tons and tons. The list is so long in terms of symptoms, from arthritis to infections to even with diseases like multiple sclerosis. Of course, here we want to put a disclaimer out in this video. You know, we don't want to diagnose. We want to give you just an educational information so you can do your further research here, or please contact your local healthcare practitioner. But we want to give you the information. And I think education here is vital in order to say, how can I have access to these products? What can I do from home? And yeah, just help you to really experience more optimal health in general. So with apitherapy, we have on the external side, of course, if someone has, for example, shingles even, or eczema and psoriasis, right? Apart from always going back to the steroids and the cortisone cream. Let's just find a different solution. We even have great results with neurological diseases here, from Parkinson's to autoimmune conditions. But I give you the floor here, Dr. Rosenberg, to say, where is the light? Where is apitherapy really coming to the forefront?
Yes, apitherapy is really very important because it's possible all the products, all bee products, which you mentioned before, starting from good quality honey, from Manuka honey, with propolis, royal jelly, etc. Probably the most important quality of this product is that these products are able to stimulate immune system. This is really, really very, very important. And all these products are really very, very important to protect our health, and is possible to utilize in everyday prevention. I want to say some words about propolis. Propolis is probably one of the most important natural products, with about 40 different therapeutic effects, and with large possibility to utilize in therapy. The immune stimulant effect, antibacterial effect is remarkable, and also anti-inflammatory effect of these products is really very, very good. I utilized during my long activity in this field. I utilize propolis extract, for example, for the treatment of wounds, for which diabetic, during diabetes, and the treatment of wounds is really difficult in sometimes chronic wounds. Propolis extract in synergy, for example, with medicinal plant extracts, marigold, calendula extract, give excellent results in the treatment of this chronic wound. And also propolis give good results, good therapeutic results in the treatment of psoriasis. So we know very well psoriasis is very difficult to treat, very difficult to obtain good therapeutic results. But propolis, cream, ointment, creams, etc., give good therapeutic results. A great chance for apitherapy is the possibility of combination with other natural therapies, especially with phytotherapy, with aromatherapy, etc. And this synergic effect of these soft therapies, because these are soft natural therapies, is really impressive, really valuable in prevention and treatment of many health problems. Yes, apitherapy is important.
That's a wonderful point. You just elucidated us in a way that the bee products, but in this case, especially propolis, can actually enhance the effectiveness of other medicinal substances. In this case, for example, you mentioned calendula. Calendula is, or marigold, it's the beautiful orange flower we have in the gardens. It's a pure wound healer. The effectiveness is truly about, supporting the tissue healing of a wound, and that can be laceration, that can be a cut, that can be a tear, anything where the tissue is broken. Now, what I find fascinating is what you just said, that in the combination with propolis, we not just use it then as a wound healer, but as a true, almost like the effectiveness of calendula is much more enhanced with the aid of the propolis, not only stimulating the immune system for the body to come even more to the forefront and heal the wound, but sort of supporting the actual healing qualities of the calendula in itself. And that's where the synergy comes in. And in your last article, which I found so amazing on LinkedIn, you also talked about, for example, bioactive compounds, which are enhanced again by the bee interaction. So in this article, I really put it on as a little side note because it was so fascinating. You said the bee products such as honey, propolis, and royal jelly contain bioactive compounds derived from the plant's bee forage. Now, these include phenolic acids, flavonoids, and terpenes, which offer anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and antioxidant properties. Now, you said, and that is such a fascinating point. He said the flavonoids and the polyphenols in propolis originate from the resin of trees and the plants, infusing apitherapy with the medicinal essence of these sources. And the bioactive synergy, therefore, between the bee products and plant compounds enriches the therapeutic benefits of apitherapy. I mean, that is just amazing to see the inherent intelligence of nature coming here to the forefront. So, what comes to mind here when I read it is also that we're not talking about just the propolis, we're talking about the healing matrix of the actual plant or tree where the propolis came from. So in this case, even if it's more important that the environment is as clean, as organic as possible, less pesticides are there, around the actual plant in itself, because all will be part of this medicinal frequency eventually as a compound. But we're talking about not just of the healing qualities of the propolis, but also where its source came from. And that is a fascinating aspect here, where we can see, again, nature supports nature in itself is our best friend, and it will always support each other's, either from the tree family, the plant family, the fungus family. They all work in synergy with each other. Without helping one or the other, nature would collapse. The same with the animal kingdom is supporting the plant kingdom, and vice versa. And here we have the perfect example, and we can only learn from nature here, isn't it? That we as humans have to start taking some notes here from nature and saying, what about collaboration? What about supporting each other in order to have a better life? And that is such a beautiful point, which you mentioned, of the bioactive compounds. I really wanted to mention that it's not just the product what you buy in. For our viewers, go to the shop and buy the product, but you're dealing with a whole science behind the product in itself and where it's coming from. So that is, I think, wonderful. Any thoughts about it?
And wonderful is, yes, science is very important. All these old traditional therapies like epitherapy, aromatherapy, phytotherapy, etc., are now the chance to develop under the influence of modern science, of modern analytical and scientific conditions. And this is really important. And I want to mention also the role of the bees, which are probably the most important living, are not simple insects.
No.
Are really important for our life, important for nature, important for our life here in Terra, in Earth. Yes, because not only produce these fantastic products like honey, like pollen collected by bees, propolis, beeswax, bee venom, etc., royal jelly, not only produce this, but also are the most important pollinator, and our life depends of bees. Bees connect the bees connect medicinal and aromatic plants, connect our health and our life, and they are really very, very important for us.
Yes, very much. And it's, you know, here in the US, the apitherapy is highly used for Lyme disease because a lot of people are affected with Lyme here. It's very difficult to treat. I mean, of course, we have homeopathic remedies and protocols, but apitherapy is almost specializing in Lyme disease, right?
Yes.
Because it's a chronic lingering disease, and with great results. So it's I really want the viewers to open your hearts and your minds here to explore the benefits of apitherapy. And before I talk about the homeopathic remedies from my side, from my practice, is there anything you want to share, or in terms of what you want to add to it, Dr. Rosenberg, in terms of the propolis or the beeswax, or the, which, you know, is coming now, the candles here. I mean, we have now starting of winter, and or soon, where I live right now, we are snowed in, and you see the beeswax candle much more on the shelves again. People will use it, not just for their wonderful fragrance, but there's something truly reminding us with a beeswax candle that this is coming from nature. This is a direct link to nature. This is a memory. This is a cellular memory of life, of thriving, of life itself. And we all appreciate it. Now, should I go into the homeopathic remedies? Yeah.
Please, because also exists connection between bee products, epitherapy, and homeopathy. Yes, exists.
Same thing. It's the same thing. Now, as you know, our viewers, I'm a doctor of natural medicine, but I always, with my YouTube films, always share with you some homeopathic remedies. And today, I want to explain to you and share with you the magic of the remedy we called Apis Mellifica, which is the Latin name for the bee. And in homeopathy, we not just deal with the symptomatology, but we also try to match the remedy according to the mental and emotional symptoms. So the idea is that we find a frequency which matches the entirety of the patient. So it's the mental, emotionally, as well as the symptomatology. So for example, if we have like an edema or a swelling within the body, and that can be, for example, ankle swelling, and we have many remedies associated with this symptom, but if the personality is more matching to a sort of B personality, which I share with you in a minute, you have much more results that the remedy will have an effect and will have a curative result. So let's talk about the bee. Well, the bee, the behavior of the bee, gives us some clues about the emotional symptoms. And as Dr. Rosenberg was saying, the bees are one of the most important contributors of life itself, right? It's not just about the pollination. It's about without the bees, we wouldn't have life so easily, the same as with the fungi, right? We think they're sort of little and they have nothing, or they play a minor part in the big ecosystem, but bees play a huge part. And the bees in itself, when we look at a beehive, for example, we see or we feel the intelligence of this ecosystem. The bees, they're not selfish in a way. They have to work with each other in order that the whole colony, the whole community will thrive. So in itself, we see that the bees are highly organized, unbelievable intelligent. They're also very loyal. They really take care of each other. And yet they are very restless. They're busy. When, we have this speech idiom called the busy bee or the queen bee. So they're absolutely, super busy. They want to get on with their things. And when they get interrupted or they can't fulfill their task, they get a little bit edgy. They get irritable. They're also very sensitive to heat. So the beehive, for example, it's quite amazing to watch that. The bees comes in with water droplets and with the wings waves the cooling air into these air shafts of the beehive. So they really take care of each other. They have an elaborate cooling system in the beehive. Now, we know now when we watch the bees' behavior that we have restlessness, we have busyness, and we have sensitivity to heat. That's just for the starters. But these key points give us some idea about the patient's expression in terms of their experienced symptoms. So the bee in itself is fiercely overprotective of one's environment, particularly of newcomers. They don't like it so much. They really want to check out, who are you? Are you part of our tribe or not? So they spend hours frantically sorting things out. But sometimes they don't accomplish much. And you can see this aspect also in the patient's personality. They are very, very busy, frantic almost. Very hard to please if they get interrupted. Like the queen bee, they like to organize a lot, but sometimes a little bit too much. And not necessarily that they're great end results. So somebody who sits on the couch and watches TV, but constantly has their hands busy or has to crochet or knit a jumper. This is the busyness of the bee. Now, those who need Apis as a homeopathic remedies, they can be quite cheerful, active people, but as I said, compulsively busy. I'm not saying they're like hyperactive or attention deficit. That's not what I'm saying. It's like they just have to be constantly in motion. That's a big deal because that represents the behavior of the bee itself. So they never sit still, right? Their body is constantly moving. They're fitting around maybe as well. So what we see also is this, in the terms of the emotional aspect, we can see jealousy. And you can see that maybe even in little children, when a new baby comes in the family, and the Apis picture would represent that, that would be maybe a good indication for the remedy. They become difficult, irritable, mildly hyperactive in a way. And also in elderly people, we can see that when they're very hard to please or nothing feels right. They don't want to be alone, right? You can imagine, because bees are in a hive. So they work as a community. So that you'd never see a bee by her or himself. It's not possible, right? It's like they're always in a group together. So when the patient is alone, they start to cry and whine. It's uncomfortable for them to be alone. But when they get sick, and you can see that in bees too. And when bees are ill, they sort of go in circles, or they drop things, or they get sort of confused. And you can see the same state in the patient. They maybe drop things. They get very dull and apathetic. They're absent-minded, maybe clumsy even. We talked about that the bee in itself is very sensitive to environmental heat. And again, the patient doesn't like too much heat. They're very sensitive to it. They want cold application. But even in the fever state, they can be thirstless, which is a keynote, which is very unusual. So the symptoms come maybe sudden, often in the afternoon, maybe around 3 p.m. That is a specific modality of homeopathic remedies. So what are in general, the stresses? It can be a sting, and we get into that in a minute. It can be on an emotional level, fright or jealousy or bad news even. So how do we use, in the homeopathic form, Apis Mellifica? When you are stung by a bee, it's a very specific skin eruption. So you maybe see a huge swelling. It's more stronger than, for example, a mosquito bite. It's very strong. It's a hard, thick swelling. The skin is sort of tight, and almost you see on the top a glossy, shiny appearance. That's very much a bee sting and bee-like. So when you see in the body any swelling which has this glossy appearance, Apis mellifica would be wonderful. Also, we see the sensation of burning. It's a very burning pain and very sensitive to touch. So the main keynote with any symptom is that you have swelling. You have maybe on the skin externally this glossy appearance, but in generally you have swelling in all shapes or forms. And that can be swelling on the skin, but also internally. So maybe your ankles are swelling, or you have oedema, or, which Apis is a wonderful remedy, and yet here I want to make a disclaimer, don't try it out at home, but I want to share it with you. Imagine you have a peanut allergy and your throat starts to swell, and you have maybe no access to a hospital. Apis could be very helpful here to take, because it opens up the oedema. We call it anaphylactic shock with a peanut allergy, right? So whenever you see a swelling within the body, we call it oedema. Apis is a wonderful remedy. I have used Apis mellifica very successfully in the symptoms of cellulitis, like where the legs start to really swell up. It's a viral disease, but I've seen, I've treated a patient. I remember she was scratched by her cat, and some of these nails of the cat got stuck under her on her foot, and it got infected, and she started having cellulitis really badly. Apis was a wonderful remedy. So we have eruptions, skin eruptions, like as if you're stung by a bee, inflammations, overall swellings that burn and sting like, almost like hot needles. They can be maddening with the itch, the sensation, they're worse for the touch. Even, Apis, you don't see that so much today because of different, I'm not going to say it here on YouTube, but different medical interventions in mumps. In mumps, which is, of course, a childhood disease where you have this swelling of the cheek. As I said, you don't see it so often anymore. Apis, anything which has to do with swelling would be really wonderful here. Now, another symptomatology where I really like Apis is urinary infections, particularly cystitis. Now here, homeopathy provides many different remedies for cystitis, and we want to really look into the keynotes. Is the pain, on the start of the urination, in the middle of the urination, at the end of the urination? What is the pain? But with Apis, you see swelling again, right? Is somewhere in the area of the bladder area or the urinary area. If you see swelling or urine retention, which means withholding the urine, Apis is a wonderful, wonderful remedy. So overall, look at oedema, fluid retention in the body tissues. And it can be very helpful in an acute situation, but also helpful before you maybe reach your doctor or your hospital, in order to, it can save life, yes, especially with allergic conditions. I also use it for urticaria. It's a wonderful remedy. We also call it nettle rash or the hives, which is an allergic reaction where you get these wells. Maybe you have eaten like peanuts, or you're allergic to some food allergy, and you get this swelling. And I remember when I was a teenager, of course, because I didn't know about Apis, but I was traveling in Asia and got a nut allergy. And whenever I ate or even consumed some nuts, my lips were swelling very badly. It's like suddenly soft body tissues were really blowing up, and that would have been a really good remedy for that. Or often you see it around the eyes, that the eyes start to swell. We also use it for sore throat, Apis mellifica, in a wonderful way, especially with fever. As I said, there's lack of thirst, like the bee behavior in itself, sensitive skin, sore throat, maybe violent headaches, again with this particular stabbing pain. Needless to say, I'm sure that is where apitherapy comes in, or I can imagine, is the lining of the joints. The lining of the joints that can be in the chest and the abdomen, for example, with arthritis, even pleurisy, joint pains, which display again this burning pain, this stinging pain, but that where Apis mellifica comes well into application. Again, the joints here, when they start swelling with arthritis, you will see the swelling again, but again with this rosy, shiny looking appearance. And that is the keynote of Apis. So Apis Mellifica, you find here in the US, and I know also worldwide. You can purchase online. You can even purchase on Amazon, right? It's a over-the-counter remedy in your health food store. Nothing too complicated here. This is not a complicated situation. This can be very affordable and easy applied here. Now, here in the US, and I know in the UK as well, I'm sure in Europe, you only have certain potency, which is the number behind the name, which is the strength of the remedy, which is over-the-counter liability accepted. And here we have the number 6 and the number 30. Higher potencies, I advise you to contact your professional homeopath. So in an acute situation, of course, every situation is different, but for adults, you can get Apis Mellifica 30, 30C or 30X, we call it. There are different kinds of scale, but that's just look for the number 30. And in an acute situation, maybe one tablet every 15 minutes to 30 minutes. I would say if you don't have a reaction or a response after like 7, 8, 9 tablets, you maybe want to look at the next one in line. Or of course, by then, hopefully you have seen your medical practitioners to help you further. But it's a wonderful, wonderful remedy. And for example, I give you 2 small little cases so you can relate what we are trying to convey here in this video. Let's say your child has been, you're out camping, your child has been stung by a bee. And why do you know it's a bee? Because the swelling is a little bit more, and maybe the foot is red, it's hot to touch, right? That gives you a sign here. It's very swollen. And maybe your child says, oh my, it's so painful. It's so painful, right? And the foot maybe also, you walk in the sand, on the beach or whatever, and heat makes it even worse. And the child says, no, I want an ice pack. I want cold application. You maybe, hopefully, you have your homeopathic first kit with you, and Apis Mellifica would be perfect here. Even if you're not quite sure if it's a bee sting, maybe it could be, it could be a mosquito bite or a sting from something else, but it's swollen, it's very strong. Apis Mellifica would be wonderful. Put it under your tongue, ideally 5-10 minutes before and after. Do not eat and drink, but take it and see the efficiency and the magic happen. If, for example, another case, let's say you have cystitis, right? Urinary infections, and you have the urge to urinate quite frequently, can be even involuntary. So it comes out without you having control. And you feel like you want to go to the bathroom, to the toilet, but it's not coming out really. So you try and okay, there's something wrong. The main feature here is the stinging pain, the burning, and the localized swelling. If you see the swelling, Apis Mellifica is your remedy. You feel better with cool air or a cold bath even. That is another indication. Again, Apis Mellifica 30, maybe in this case, every 1 to 2 hours. Try it for a day. And of course, homeopathic remedies have no side effects, right? They're natural. Again, like apitherapy in itself, they want to help to stabilize the homeostasis within the body. And it's all out there. We have access to it. We just don't know. The general population doesn't know that we have these wonderful remedies. And that's why we want to make these videos to say, educate yourself, especially with apitherapy, which I believe will be coming more and more to the forefront and will prove its importance also in modern medicine. As I said, here in the US, a lot of patients are interested in apitherapy with Lyme disease, right? Because they have tried everything else, and yet they have really good results with apitherapy, which Dr. Rosenberg very clearly said to us is an ancient therapy. It's a traditional, it was there for a long, long time, and was somehow maybe not recognized in its full potentiality. And I think now is the time to do so. Dr. Rosenberg, what can you add?
First of all, I want to congratulate you, Dr. Angelica Koch, for this excellent presentation of this powerful and important homeopathic remedy, Apis Mellifica, which is really one of the most valuable homeopathic remedies obtained from the mother tincture is obtained from bee, extract from bee with a solvent, alcohol, ethylic alcohol, and water. And yes, this is a connection between these two natural remedies, between apitherapy and between homeopathy. Exists connectivity between these natural soft therapies. And I think it's very important to present to the public, to the person which are interested in this kind of natural therapies, to present the secrets, we open the secrets of this simple methods, therapeutic methods, useful for prevent, but also, like you presented, to treat different health problems, different disease.
You're wonderful.
Education is very important. Education. Health education is probably the most important way to create new opportunity, new ways for the persons interested in natural therapies. And this video and other, which I hope we will prepare, we will open this way.
Very much.
Health education.
Yes, yes. And with the use of the internet today, we can spread it worldwide, right? It's
yes.
like right now we are connecting between the USA and Romania. Can you imagine? So we want to invite
1,000 kilometers.
Yes, we want to invite as many viewers as possible. I'm so happy, Dr. Rosenberg, that you have been here today. And really, it's a wonderful collaboration. For your interest, my viewers, in the description box, I will put in the information how to contact Dr. Rosenberg via LinkedIn.
Thank you very much.
Yes, it's via his website. So you can explore more about apitherapy. And I really encourage you to subscribe to his articles on LinkedIn, which are really posted on a daily basis, which is, I don't know even how you do that, but really fascinating, educational, mind-opening. I mean, just, I don't even want to go to another article right now, but just the other day you put out how scent can be modulated with AI technology and transported into medicine. I mean, just amazing, right? So I thank you so much for all your work and your dedication to a better world. To a better world. So all the best, my viewers. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.